Okay, guys, today we're going to build out a TikTok trend finder. So this will be built around like the basis of trying to find trending sounds of OnlyFans creators. We will do this by first off generating a list of OnlyFans creators and consistently scraping their posts, their most recent posts every single day. And then we just want to be able to measure how do they compare to their average number of views. Did this post achieve more than, let's say, 25% or 50% more than the average number of views on that profile? And then we can also log the sound as well. And we can kind of do a comparison of what was the average number of views for this sound? How many views were generated on this sound over the past X number of days? And did most creators experience more than an average number of views using this sound? And then we can literally build an automation just to fire this straight over to our creators, who will then go about implementing, creating these TikToks. So of course, as normal, we're starting off in Airtable, and let's just clean this up a little bit. And we'll start off by just renaming it accounts. We'll make another field, TikTok videos. And sounds. Accounts, TikTok videos, and sounds. Okay. Name, followers. Bio, posts, and then we will link down to videos, and we will create a relation from videos to sounds. Just clean up these tables. And we're also going to have it set up to be able to automatically find new OnlyFans creators. And so the way that we're going to do that is by scraping Google. So we will do site tiktok.com, and then we will do IG has the link. And maybe like a spicy emoji. IG has the link. And okay, TikTok isn't going to let me check her following, but my idea is that we just start off with one of these, and then from TikTok itself we can check who they're following. And I think that we will find that often OnlyFans creators follow other OnlyFans creators. So I just want to verify this assumption right now. I'm just going to check manually how many creators she follows. Butter love Heather. Okay, so I've got her profile here. She's made her following private, which is actually slightly annoying. Check the link on Insta. So yeah, these girls are literally all doing OnlyFans, and this girl is following 1,680. Riley Adrienne Cook. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's going to be very small for you. But on like the fourth profile that she's following, it's another like OnlyFans creator. So I think it's like super easy just to, for example, to take her profile and then just use her profile to go and find other girls that are doing OnlyFans. So we'll put the name in. Sorry, in there. We'll put the name in there. And then we can also make a relation to ourselves here, and we can do followers scraped, edit field, link to another record. And we're linking again into this database, but just to kind of have a reference of how many followers are actually scraped. And then I'm just going to do a total followers scraped. Total followers scraped. That's not even needed. Roll up field, and we will do followers scraped. Choose a field where name count all values, so is not empty. So right now we've got 0, and then we will do how many of them are OnlyFans creators. And so here I'm going to add in a filter that says bio contains, and this is kind of an assumption, but I'm quite sure it'll be quite accurate, or bio contains. They often like to do the blue, add condition group, or bio contains. Blue and white. And so that will give us an idea of, and we can also do a percentage, in fact, percentage. In fact, we'll do that. We'll lay that out as a formula. Formatting formula, it will be followers scrape doing OF format show as a percentage. Right now it's 0, which is correct. So we'll just rename these views. 1, all accounts. 2, OF creators, and videos this week, videos this month. And here we just make a date field. Okay. Okay, that is fine. So to start off with, we'll link up to Airtable. We're just searching the first table, which is accounts. And we will scrape from OF creators. In fact, so we also need to do, 2 check bio, and then number 3 will be OF creators. Okay. And then so from here, I'm just going to copy one of my TikTok scrapers. Hopefully we're far along in the course by now that You don't need to see me see me manually write this out every time. Paste that there. ID exists, that's absolutely fine. One name. And so here, okay, and we can come back in here and we can update a record. And whilst that's loading, I'm just going to go into Rapid API and just get the documentation on scraping the following. Users feed by username, and okay, and we actually need the user ID, but that's fine. Followings. Okay. So we'll add that field in here. And we'll also add in another field called following. Just inject all of this data. Bio is referenced to as signature. Posts is media count. Sorry, AWEME count. Videos this week, video this month. Following. And user ID. Unique user ID. And this API has actually been a little bit funny recently. I think it's trying to do a search instead of directly going to the profile and scraping. So I'm just going to add in a second filter that says username. Sorry. Unique ID username is equal to name, as I was getting some funny results the other day. And now we can go ahead and clone that over. And we're just going to change the URL. We're using the same API, so our API key and everything else remains the same. And we will simply go and enter the user ID from here. So as an example, we can come in here, we can take user ID. This one is it. Sorry. This one. Not that one. Let's try the other user ID. This one is it. $404 not found. Strange. Okay, it seems that endpoint isn't working, which means we'll have to use a different API. Yeah, this one is working. So let's take this code here. And under here, we need user underscore ID. User ID, save that. That can also be deleted. And then we just need to change the host. Change the host to this, and our API key should remain the same. Run that as a test. We have a response iterator. Sorry, iterate. Iterate through this array Airtable create a record. We can also update here the fact that we have the next max ID. Max ID, TikTok trend finder. And down here, we will create a record for each one that we have scraped. In fact, they do give us quite a lot of information here. We get the user ID and the follower count. So yeah, we really get quite a good amount of information considering we're just scraping. Unique ID, videos this month. Do they give us a bio? They do. Very good. Followers. Username. So in fact, this will be much faster than I thought. User. Post count. Following. And followers scraped. We will link it back up to the main record here. That actually works really nicely then. That saves us a lot of time. It's lucky TikTok returns us a ton of data. It saves us doing multiple requests. And next page token, we will save there. Let's go ahead and run this. And it should start adding in a lot of different records for us, which it is doing. Hmm. Okay, so actually we may want to put them into a separate database. Yeah, I think we do. Let's duplicate this table. Scraped followers, and we will just change this to be we'll delete them. I just want this kind of data roll-ups to work, and this I think this will actually be a more elegant solution anyway. Choose a field name, count all values, confirm change. Script, yeah. And choose a field name. A condition where bio contains spicy link or bio contains this. Save that. Confirm the change. Scraped followers. We need to link this back to another record account. Save, confirm changes. And we need to link all of them back up here. Slow way of doing it. Done. And total followers. Great. Delete that. Delete that. Save this. Paste that. And everything else can go. Okay. And so that account has worked. That is an OnlyFans creator. And so we can build a very simple automation here that will, when a record enters a view, we will select in scraped followers, select view, OF creators, choose record. Choose record. We will create a record in the accounts table. Name, bio, followers. Followers. Following. And then I just want to go and link it back to itself. Scraped followers equal to the original ID. Run test. Which one? That's fine. Did it work? Switch to on. Yeah, it generated itself, and sorry, I put in the wrong field there. Automations followers scraped. Follow, that's the one. Add field, and then we put in the first ID. Okay, turn that on, update, done. So now Airtable will handle for us anytime a record matches our conditions. And we can put in some other conditions as well. Bio contains spicy link, anything like that, and then we will automatically add it into accounts. And now the next time that we run this automation, that account will then be included in the scrape as well. And as long as each account that we find is following more than one OnlyFans profile, we have essentially just built like a never-ending scraper. It will keep looking for new count cursor. And we want minimum time. That's one thing I've done wrong. Okay, min time, update a record, JSON application. So we don't want next page token, we want minimum time. And under create a record, we just need to change it over to our new field, script followers. Will that stay? No, it's all been deleted. Okay. User, no. ID. Following. Done. Okay, and then we just need to modify this request to add in cursor. Value. Currently, we haven't got a value. Okay, 1 second. Run that. that. Cursor value, and then the value will be max ID. Although I'm going to delete that max ID as it's currently incorrect. And next thing to do is we can do a search function just to make sure that we don't add in duplicates that we scrape. Equal to so as long as the name doesn't exist in our scraped followers table, it means it won't be added. Condition, total number of bundles. Let's just run it as a quick test. Setup filter condition ID does not exist. Run the scraper again. So on the first record, it's not going to take anything because we're just updating the next max ID, which it's done correctly now. And on this one, we should scrape records. Which it's currently adding in. Good. $35. Okay, and so we've got 2 more girls here doing OnlyFans. And so if our tool has run correctly, should be 2. I think maybe there'll be a delay in how quickly Airtable runs. Okay. Interesting why that hasn't been picked up. Perhaps because there's no space in between them. Or bio contains. There we go. Okay, another one picked up. So now we've got 4 creators that are all doing OnlyFans, and we can run this again. Scraped. What was scraped OF? Interesting. Or bio contains. Confirm. It doesn't like that. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay. For some reason our first one didn't operate correctly. Data, next page token, min time. What went wrong there? So you can see that we're getting all of these bios as well. And what we could also do is if you see any kind of other type of formats that people are using to promote their OnlyFans, like we can add them into our filter and they'll get added into that list as well. Oh, that's why. Sorry. So we have one issue. But we've got another OnlyFans creator now, and that's one that's common as well. My IG is better, just it's kind of generic, so I don't really want to add it in. I've just seen one issue that we have. That's why that's not working. Add that in. Okay. I'm actually going to delete all of these just because it's just messed up our system because I wasn't tagging in where we scraped from, which is why that wasn't updating. Unfortunately, delete them, delete that, delete the max IDs so it will start from 0. And let's go. We have an error. Is that a silly mistake? Yes, it was. Account should be that because that is where we are scraping from. Yeah, okay, so now we're tagging in again where these scrapes are coming from. Good. Good, good, good. This could be an OnlyFans creator just based on her bio. Link in Insta bio, so that's another one that we will add in. And so we can kind of just build out our these are essentially triggers of what will trigger someone to be added into our database. And so you don't have to spend too long doing this, but just scrolling through and just checking, are there any OnlyFans creators that we want to add into our database, and doing so accordingly. So now if we come back in here, we can start to work out what is the percentage where bio contains, save, confirm, change. Times. No. Follow a script. Other way. There we go. So now it gets a little bit more interesting. We can now see that out of the 59 profiles we've scraped, only one of those matches the criteria. But here we've got, so that's a 2% rate, and here we've got a 10% match rate, which is obviously much higher. Some of these are failing as well, so I think that they may have their accounts set to private. I exceeded daily quota. That also makes sense. Let's change plans. Yeah, really nice API to work with, actually, just because they return us so much data. Just really cuts out the number of requests that we need to send. Okay, there we go. But that makes sense as to why that wasn't working. Let's run that again. But I do still think some of these have their following hidden, which is why we're not able to get it. Last account banned. We have a duplicate, actually, so we can delete her. Let's just see what the error was on those other ones. Status code 2096, which doesn't directly mean anything to us. It could be too many requests. I actually know this girl, but there's not really any anything giving away that she's an OnlyFans creator. Link in Insta bio. Okay, and one thing I want to do is add in a sleep here. Got another one that's a good one as well. Yes, I have one. We can write that a few different ways. Bio contains, maybe I have one. That's okay. Sorry, it's my cleaner coming in and out. I'm quite sure that the issue here, status code 2096, is that they're private accounts, which is fine, in fact. Okay, and I'm just going to leave this running for like the next half an hour or so, because we don't really need to sit here watching it. For example, this creator has 1,600 following 1,978. These are much lower. It's probably these lower ones as well that will be much better. Like this one is following 5. I would guess that all of those are going to be OnlyFans creators, and she only follows 5 to take inspiration from them. But here you can see like 7% of her following has OnlyFans, so we can get like multiple more creators out of them. So I'm just going to pause it and let this run for half an hour, and then we'll come back once it's scraped some more profiles. Okay, we're back already. I'm actually just going to add in a little filter here that we just call like manual approval, because there's some kind of random ones down here. Like this girl is an OnlyFans creator. Like we've scraped her detail. I can see that. And I just want to make sure that she's added in, but I don't want to add things like that into our filters. Because they're just like a little bit too generic for me. And I think we would pull in people incorrectly. So I'm going to do filter by bio, or manual approval is checkmark. And I can just go ahead and like manually approve these profiles. Shit. Did not mean to do that. Because I changed the filter. It's now added everyone in. Whoops. Delete. That is one slightly annoying thing about Airtable. Anyway. And can she has a special link on her IG. We'll keep that. Delete all of those. Okay, 15 profiles there. Just from adding a few others in TikTok accounts. But yeah, just thought I would show you that. So now we can, like, if we see someone that applies but doesn't match our filters, we can automatically just check the checkbox and they'll be added in to our queue as well. Okay, guys, it's been about 40 minutes, I think. And we've now got 75 profiles. One thing that you'll notice is really quite interesting is that you can build out like these really, really precise networks. For example, the first account that we took, I'm pretty sure that she's based out of Newcastle, or and Newcastle being a place in Northern England. By the way, so if we just do a filter and put in like the bio, Newcastle, and wait, hang on, I've seen way more. Follow me on Insta. That wasn't what I was trying to demonstrate. Anyway, I was going Newcastle and kind of like northern parts of England was like, so these are mostly UK based creators in like Newcastle, Manchester, and like northern UK countries. No, sorry, northern parts of the UK. So I just, and so what has happened is we've taken one of these profiles. I'm not sure which one because I haven't opened any of them, which I think is based in the north of England, in Newcastle. And then she's following her friends who are also in surrounding locations, and then they're following each other. So I've just noticed, like, not done on purpose, but at all. But a lot of the creators are from like a northern part of the UK. So just quite interesting. Here we have a Scottish creator. Just interesting that purely based off of people's networks, you can build out really quite precise targeting systems. So we have 77 accounts, and so far we've only scraped up to number 45, and they're not even finished, and they're still going on. So my theory was completely correct. We can literally, just from one profile, we have now scraped... we've scraped 1,600 profiles, and 78 of those profiles are verified OnlyFans creators. And we're still continuing to scrape. So every time this runs now, it's adding on about 30 new creators to our list. So all in all, that was a success. And I will let this just keep on building out. Like, this is just actually a really, really interesting tool to kind of try to scrape all of the TikTok creators on OnlyFans simply through this. However, it's now time to get into some of the more interesting stuff. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Post TikTok videos. We currently have nothing in. Followers scraped. We don't really care about. Total followers scraped. Scraped OF. We can also hide them. Hide that. Posts, TikTok videos. Average views. Okay, and so then we can kind of split this up as well by doing average views this week and average views this month. I think that's fine. This will end up being a pretty big database, actually. Okay, So I will say we don't really care about anyone who's like on like a low follower count. But I guess for now it's fine. The biggest account we scraped is 440,000 followers, and I may put some parameters around that, but let's just see how we get on to start off with. You can stop that from running. TikTok videos. And then we can put in likes, comments, signature, link. Not signature, sorry, caption. And in fact, caption we can just put as the main title. Yeah, 83 accounts we've got now. Cool. So let's come down into I mean, to be honest, we don't even need that part anymore. Max ID. User ID. Sorry. Oh, okay, fine. Discard changes, fine. We'll keep it there just so that we don't need to rebuild out the whole flow. Let's add in a router and we will come through and start scraping posts. Cool. In fact, I have one of these already. Scrapr, yeah, fine. So we'll copy that. So we're just going to we're just going to scrape the feed of the profile. Again, you can use any API that you prefer. I don't care about the minimum cursor. I don't care about extracting all of the records because I'm only really interested in TikTok trends. So we're not interested in any like historical TikTok data. To be honest, we just want like the latest information basically. And so then we would do like a search to make sure that in fact, that's another field to add in. TikTok videos unique ID. Unique ID. unique ID, and so we'll set that up later. And then as long as ID does not exist, we will create a record here. We will create a new sound, and we will actually need to iterate through as well. Because I set the process to run automatically, we just have to wait a few minutes for the scenario to stop running. So I'll just pause the video until that happens. Okay, we've got it working again. A little bit slow to scrape. 504. Request timed out. Interesting. Cool. Got a response this time. But scrape from there. Okay. Airtable records. Search records. Unique ID not equal to unique ID. Save that. Condition ID does not exist. And then come down here, and we'll, as long as that unique ID doesn't already exist, we will go ahead and start off here. Description. Sorry. Not Scrapr followers. We need in TikTok videos. Caption will be description. Posted date will be created time. Account will be this ID up here. Sounds will be what's the best way for us to do this? Sound we can leave empty for now. Likes count, it doesn't give us. Comments, does it give us? Comment count, yes, it does. And then I've forgotten the most important field, play count. TikTok videos, play. Play count saves unique ID is AWEME ID, and then we will also take the link or share URL. I think they'll call it share URL. It's here. We could also add an attachment field and download the TikTok if we wanted to. However, I don't really need to. If ever we wanted to go and check it in future, we can go and check the link. And seeing as we'll be processing huge volumes of data here, I prefer that we don't kind of bloat out our database. total number of bundles equals to bundle order position. So we will run down this path and process everything here prior to continuing scraping more creators, which is the logical way to do things. Go and get all of the TikToks of your existing creators, and then when it starts to run out, then we can look at going and extracting more creators. So this is an automation that will just constantly feed itself with new OnlyFans creators. And of course, you can also add in manually if you wanted to. If you have a list of like niche specific OnlyFans creators, absolutely, you could go and add that in yourself. Grid view, and so now let's come into the sounds field. Again, we'll call this unique ID. Author. Okay, yeah. So under music, we will do music ID equal to music ID. It's going to move that one step back. ID does not exist, and then here we will do a router. In fact, so really simple. It's just going to be condition if ID exists, create a record, and we will use the record ID that's returned to us for that sound that we've already found. So under sounds here, we can come in and we can add in this record ID. Alternatively, if the sound doesn't exist in our database, then we want to create it. ID does not exist. We will first go ahead and create the sound. Okay, sound, title, author. Okay, yeah, so let's do title, author, owner. Yeah, I was just checking if there's any information like how many times it's been used, but it doesn't seem there is. Title and sound owner. And maybe we can just take a link for it as well, just to make it easier to send to a model. Title, author, music. Get a link to it there. Play URL, cover thumbnail. I'll take the play URL. Okay, yeah, and then we would add in the video after this using the sound ID that has just been generated here. So sound will then be replaced with this ID.
because it doesn't exist. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. So it will wait a second. What's Earth creators? Okay, cool. Let's take from there. And yeah, we've got our first videos coming in now. Okay, so likes as a field can actually be deleted entirely then. Mostly doing a lot of replies then, this account. Okay, anyway, let's get straight into it. So we can do average views, and we can come in and we can do a roll-up field, TikTok videos, and we're going to choose play and average values. Save. Again, we can do the same here, average views, roll up of TikTok videos, and we will do play counts, and we'll do average, and then we only want to include where posted date is within the past week. So that is what I mean. That is what makes it really interesting, is her average view count is 347,000 overall. However, from videos that were posted in the past week, it's only 233,000. Still like a very good number, but instead of us taking that as the average when it's kind of not really relevant anymore, it's much better for us to have like this up-to-date information. And as well, we want videos this week and videos this month. Count all values. And again, we can just put a filter. Posted date is within the past week. Videos this week, 21. And we can, just to make it a little bit faster, we can just duplicate these. Videos this week, videos this month. Is within the past month. As you can see, that this is a really inactive TikTok account. Only one video posted this month, nothing in the past week. Average views month is within the past month. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now we need to make quite a long if statement. Just to tell us which content performs very well and which doesn't. We can group by accounts, and then it just allows us to get interesting. We can put in the median amount there. But in fact, I think we want average and not median, because of course we want the viral videos. I have to play around with this a little bit. Okay. We'll take average views this week. 6,180. Okay, let's try a formula. Virality rating. Formula. If play greater than average times 1.5, I'm just used to writing up JavaScript. Okay, that doesn't want to work. So instead, let's make it, I'm just going to do a separate formula here. And so the reason I want to do this is I want to know, I don't want any videos being recommended to us that just got like 10 higher than their average, for example. I'm only interested in videos that even maybe we go in with like a 2x multiple. So you'll see what I mean. So I want to take their play count and, sorry, I want to take average views, times it by 2, and so that's what I mean. I'm only interested in videos here that are like 2x better than what's normally performing for them. That is what I would consider like a good video. Virality rating formula. if play greater than average views 2x need to be wrapped. Is that what the problem is? Yeah, that is what the problem is. Sorry, I've done that the wrong way around. Great, sorry, less than, greater than I meant. So instantly we can see, if I make this bigger, in fact, that didn't work at all. We can see the score of how good these videos are. So her older videos were performing much, much better. And we could even do something as simple as, what's the best way to structure this? If I will, maybe we even try doing like stackable views. Let me see if this will work. 4x. If just need to remind myself of how to do this. Airtable if else statement. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay, let's come back in here. And so if play count equals 2, I think it was in here that they came in. If play count equals more than 4x, no, that didn't work. If play count equals 4x. Okay, so I think we actually need to work our way up and then down, which would make sense as well. So we could then just copy this. Got it. Right. So we don't actually, that is the negative. So if equals to 4x, yeah. Okay, I've got it. Okay. So And so we can actually just keep these going all day long. We can do greater than 10x. Virality rating, and once again, we can just take that. Wait. $10x. Copy. I didn't actually mean to write copy, but never mind. Copy, and then here we will do 4x, and we will put 3 fire emojis for that. And if it's got this, we need a, what we're going to do, a bomb or something, or a rocket. Yeah, let's go with rocket. Formula is invalid. If play average views, play copy equal to 10. If that's the problem here, save. No. 3 nested if statements. Okay. So we've got something working. I'm going to do a few less rockets, actually. That gets a bit messy. And maybe 2 fire emojis. So it kind of sticks out. So now we literally have the information on which videos are performing best for every single creator. We have the average views of the creator. This is how much they are normally receiving. And these videos picked up at least 10x more traffic than what what they were used to. All of the red ones we can pretty much discard. They're just underperforming. The fire ones, okay, are going to be pretty good for us as well. But yeah, this is really play count 20,000. Okay, maybe we don't base it off of week, actually. Maybe we base it off of month. So I just noticed that one of them there, because she's only posted 1 video this week, average views this week. Average views. Confirm change. Yeah, okay. I think that's a little bit better. So we've got a few less of them, which I actually prefer. I prefer that we have kind of like a ruthless system in place here that is has very like strict parameters around it for what it kind of refers to being a very high quality TikTok, and just so that our creators aren't wasting any time. Then just for the sake of it, I'm just going to put in like one final one, and we're going to put a bomb emoji there, and we can build an automation where, let's say, anything that gets like 50x, or even not 50x, like 25x would still be insane. Average views 25x, 25 more than their average view count. It means that they're kind of going viral and they're really picking up traction on it, at least viral in kind of in reference to their own account. We can build an automation that we would just send this straight to our creators. like that this is like an urgent thing that needs to be made. Is there a nuke? No. All right, we'll do a bomb on this one. So 25x copy average use. Sorry, not copy. 25x save. What have we got wrong here? Okay. Do we even want to make it even more? How many bombs have we got? I kind of want to make it that this is like an insane number. 50. Okay. 100x more than their average views. Okay, right. Look, so it's really, really interesting. We have like complete visual. We can just very easily see and let's even just go and give like a score. So we could do a formula like we could do something very simple. Plays divided by average views week, even though that's from the month. And so, yeah, that has actually worked as well. So based on the score here, the higher that number is, the better the ratio is. So this is like an insanely viral video compared to their average view count. 522 times more viral than it should have been, than their average view count. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else we need to kind of go into. Everything is built out. We have the sound tracking functionality. We have the scraped followers here. How's our automation going? We ran into an error, unexpected position, 54. Okay, not sure what the actual problem was there. Oh, I hope Integromat doesn't crash on us. Yeah, good. Okay, that's why they always say to save your work. So add an error handler in there. And the only other thing that we can add in is maybe a last modified field. Fine, we'll modify off of posts, and then what we can also do is put here we can just update the record because they actually return us an updated follower count, so we can just store that in our Airtable, and it will just stop us from scraping the same account again and again, basically. So of course, TikTok Trend Finder account. Yes, we do want accounts actually. Delete all of this. delete all of this. Followers can be taken from author. Follow account, and posts as well is available for us as well under author, AWEME. And so now we've built out an automatic scraper, and so we can sort the records by last modified. Yeah, and we want the lowest count to be first. So it means as soon as this has been scraped, it will get put to the bottom of the queue, which means that it will process everything sequentially, like in order, which is exactly what we want. I'm just going to run it again, process everything there, and then it will start looking for new creators. And just as an example, we can come in and we can put in viral videos, and we can say add condition virality score greater than 100. So all of these videos are like super viral videos. We could literally just build an automation when create automation. And so now you kind of see how I will use Airtable automations. By the way, it's not worth us putting something on Integromat. It's just faster for us to build in here. When a record enters a view, select a table, TikTok videos, select a view, viral videos, choose record, pick any of them. And we could literally just put in send an email. Or you could also do a text message. And we could just, you could send a text message via Twilio. However you communicate with your models, we could go and send them over that this is like a currently trending video. And again, this is working in like real time. This is the type of stuff that I'm really interested in, building out these kind of like automated things where, you know, we could build an agency, take on 20 models, and just literally use the system to ping them every single day with currently trending content. They get it made and everyone's happy. Yeah, cool. I think I will leave the video there. Very nice thing to put together in 2 hours. I'm pretty happy with the outcome. You could even actually reduce the virality score. I think we can bring it down to something like 50. And these should all be pretty good TikToks to make. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Cool.